The music was loud, the lights were spinning, and the gymnasium was packed with students dancing and laughing. But in the middle of the chaos stood a girl who looked like she didn't belong. Her name was Alina, and tonight was supposed to be the... One night she felt like a normal teenager, but in just a few seconds, that hope would be ripped apart. Alina had just transferred to Westview High 3 months ago. After her father's sudden passing, her mother moved them to this small town too. Start over. The grief was still fresh, and Alina barely spoke during class. She sat in the back row, sketching quietly in her notebook, hoping to disappear. She wore thrifted clothes. She ate lunch alone, and even though she was smart and kind, no one really tried to get to know her, except Emily. Emily was loud, popular, and beautiful, the kind of girl who turned heads in the hallway. But Emily wasn't kind. She had a sharp tongue and a mean streak that people feared more than they admitted to Emily. Alina was easy prey at first. It started small, snide comments in the hallway, whispered jokes in class, a fake smile followed by laughter behind her back. Alina endured it, quietly alone. Then came the school dance. It was a spring tradition, bright lights, sparkly decorations, and everyone dressed to impress. Alina never planned to go. She didn't even have a dress. But her mother, seeing how isolated she was, surprised her with a handmade dress, soft lavender with hand-stitched lace. It wasn't perfect, but it was beautiful in its own way. More importantly, it was made with love. With her heart pounding and her hands trembling, Alina walked into the gym. For the first few minutes, no one noticed her. She stood by the wall, smiling nervously, clutching her small purse. Her eyes scanned the crowd, trying to blend in, to be invisible again. But then Emily saw her. Emily's lips curled into a smile, but not a kind one. She whispered something to her friends, and within seconds, they surrounded Alina on the dance floor. "Look at this. What even is that dress?" Emily sneered, flicking one of the lace sleeves. "Did your grandma sew this?" Alina tried to back away, her cheeks burning, but the circle closed in. Then it happened. With a cruel laugh, one of the girls tugged on the lace and the delicate seam tore. There was a loud ripping sound. Gasps filled the gym. Alina froze. Her handmade dress hung in pieces, torn right at the shoulder, exposing her skin and her shame. The music stopped. People stared. Some laughed. Others just watched silently, not doing anything. Alina ran. Tears streamed down her face as she burst out of the gym, across the parking lot, down the sidewalk in the cold night air. She didn't stop until she got home. For the next few days, Alina didn't go to school. She shut herself in her room, refusing to eat or speak. Her mother tried everything, but the light in Alina's eyes was gone. The video of the incident had gone viral at school. Somebody had filmed it. The comments were brutal, but something unexpected happened. Not everyone laughed. A few students quiet. Ones like her began commenting under the video, condemning the bullying. Someone posted, "She looked beautiful. I wish I had the courage to show up like that." And slowly, support began to build. One girl from Alina's art class, Zara, showed up at her door one afternoon with a note. "I thought your dress was amazing. And I loved the way you styled your hair. If you ever want to hang out, we're painting a mural after school." Zara's kindness was the first crack in the wall Alina had built around herself that evening. She pulled out her sketchbook and began to draw again. Back at school, the story was shifting. Emily had expected to be praised, but instead, she found herself isolated. Students stopped sitting with her. Teachers began watching her closely. Her own friends started avoiding her. The guilt crept in, and it grew louder every day. A week later, during lunch, Emily did something no one expected. She stood up in front of the entire cafeteria. "I want to apologize to Alina. What I did was cruel, and I don't expect forgiveness. But I needed to say it. I was wrong." There was silence, then whispers, and then someone started clapping. Not because they liked Emily, but because they knew what Alina had gone through, and they respected the apology, even if it was late. Emily approached Alina after school, her eyes red, her hands trembling. "I'm sorry," she said. "You didn't deserve that. No one does." I was jealous. I saw how you were so quiet, so comfortable with yourself, and I felt threatened. It doesn't excuse it, but I needed you to know. Alina looked at her. For the first time, she didn't feel fear. She felt strong. I'm not ready to forgive you, she said gently. But I hope you really mean it. And Emily nodded. I do. Weeks passed. Alina returned to school not as the invisible girl, but as someone seen and respected. She joined the art club. She started helping with the school's anti-bullying campaign. She even designed a new logo for a Ta heart stitched back together. It's just like her dress. The gymnasium dance became a story people didn't forget, but not for the humiliation. It became a story of strength, of standing tall after being torn down, and most of all, of the quiet power of a girl who refused to let cruelty define her. Moral of the story? Sometimes people try to tear us down in the moment we're finally finding the courage to stand tall. But it's in those broken moments that we discover our real strength. And when kindness speaks louder than cruelty, hearts can begin to heal than the ones that were broken in silence.